What does $600,000 get you in Tacoma, Washington? What's up, everyone? I'm Baja Saldivar. I'm a local realtor here, work anywhere between Seattle and Olympia, west, east, anywhere in between. I get people like you reaching out to me all day. Text, call, email, whichever way you can get a hold of me, I'll get back to you. So $600,000, what does that get you in Tacoma, Washington? Or better yet, should I say, if you qualify for a $600,000 mortgage, because you do not need to have $600K in cash. And if you don't know what your actual budget can be, that's why you can talk to someone like me, who's a real estate professional, that can give you a good estimate on what you'd be wanting to look like based off of your monthly mortgage, budget. Now, I can give you a general idea. A loan officer, a lender will give you a more exact idea because they're going to deal with the numbers with you, but I can steer you in the right direction, give you contact info to trusted preferred lenders that I work with consistently, that I make sure, we both know, like, and trust on both ends. So without further ado, let's go ahead on a virtual tour on what 600K can get you in Tacoma, Washington and in the surrounding area. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hop on Zillow. I'm just going to go ahead and type in Tacoma, Washington. And let's go ahead. I'm gonna let's set the sales price. Let's just start. So for sale, let's just go $500,000 to $600,000 just to capture anything under that 600K range, right? Because maybe you don't need to go all the way up to 600,000, but usually anything lower than about 100K under, you're gonna start finding stuff that you really just don't even want to be looking at. And in this market right now too, there is room to where maybe you can look about 25K over what you might be maxed at, because you can always take into account what price decreases might be happening in the market, what some sellers are open to be doing to helping you out, things like that. So we're here, 500-600K for sale. Let's go ahead and look at just single family homes first. If my computer would cooperate, there we go. And all right, so let's zoom in here. Now, like I said, right, I talk a lot about areas of Tacoma. Let me zoom back out, sorry. To be fair, the boundary here shows really just the main Tacoma addresses, but I talk a lot about, for instance, University Place, which you can see right there in this area. It is just like meshed, zoned weirdly, where it's really Tacoma, but it might not look like it because it says University Place. Same thing here in Lakewood, right? Tacoma, Lakewood, they're right there. Steilacoom comes down this way. And then even if you go on a little east and southeast here, right, Parkland and Summit, Midland, still technically going to be parts of Tacoma, but the boundary itself shows that it's a different city. Obviously, we talk about Puyallup a lot, Federal Way, Seattle's up north, and then you go south this way, and it's Olympia, right? So there's JBLM, and just to give you a good broad overview. Now, going to some of the areas that I've talked to in my previous videos, right? We do see South End generally being cheaper than anything up here towards Ruston and Central and even Northeast Tacoma. So let's just click on this one here. All right, 575K. This house has technically been active, it says, for over 200 days. Now, when I see that, there's two things that tells me. One, it could have been under contract multiple times, and really it's just been falling out of contract, and then the time frame that it's on the market doesn't start over. Or two, it's just really had a hard time to sell. Number three, too, if it was a new construction, right? A lot of times new constructions show that it's been on the market for, let's say, 200 days. But realistically, it's because they'll post it far out before it's even ready to be, ready to be built even. Some of these lots are not even built, but it'll still be posted on the MLS because it's still available to buy. So that's why some new constructions too will go far. But going back to here, so 575, pictures look amazing. They've really been touched up, right? From what it looks like, built in 1929, one car garage here on the side. From what it looks like, this has been either flipped or recently updated by an investor, right? Beautifully updated Craftsman. That kind of tells you, right? So Craftsman 1929 home, and it being updated like this inside and out will tell you that someone had to have gotten a hold of it with the investment mindset. From what it's telling me, it's a corner lot. It's on 6th Ave, and that might be an issue for some people. So 6th Ave, that's the thing, is that's why it's always helpful to talk to someone who's around here, right? 6th Ave is a busy street, and a lot of people might not like the busyness of the street. This is basically right here on the corner of it, and that's probably a big reason why it might not be sold yet. Okay, so now look at the difference, right? We got 595K up here towards North End, towards Ruston. These are very sought after homes. Like you're seeing when I'm just putting my cursor over that. 3-bed, 2-bath, 2180 square feet for the 600K. All right. Now, coming down here to a less sought after area, you can get a bigger home, more square footage, another bedroom for 75K less. But that 10-15 minute drive between both of those, the neighborhoods are pretty night and day sometimes. And even just the layout, when it comes to layout, like you can tell here, so this up right up here with this chimney here, first off, that might be a turnoff to somebody. Second off, a lot of these attic story rooms, the ceilings might be super low, might be crammed, might not even, have bathroom access. And so a lot of these times when people are trying to just fit more rooms in these spots, it's not always functional. But this is nicely updated still, big square footage. It looks like a big backyard, car space for the garage and stuff like that. And then, like I said, that's typical seeing a bigger home just on the south end being almost $100,000 less than what's up north towards Ruston. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the single family homes right there, right? And the difference of what really a 15-minute commute can do. Now, let's go to just how about the townhomes and condos, okay? Now, mind you, be mindful when you're looking at townhomes and condos that, yes, it can come with a shorter price, a lower price, but those HOA fees are sneaky. Those are hundreds of dollars, per month a lot of times, especially, which now we're looking, right? I'm still looking at that range of 500 to 600K. Especially if you're looking at in Tacoma, in downtown Tacoma. Now, isn't this crazy, right? For same price as you would have gotten a home in North End, if you're looking at my cursor, you're getting basically a condo. Now, this is what it is. It's waterfront condo. Got it. Beautiful. I pass this building every time I go to my office in downtown Tacoma here. It's got the best views you can get. It's got the walkway there and everything. But it's still a condo. You're looking at 2 beds, 2 bath, 1368 square feet. So again, people look at it differently, right? You can look at this and you can probably rent this out after too. You can make good money if you're trying to maybe Airbnb this and make this into a short-term rental after you move. Great, right? I mean, look at that. You can't really beat the view and all that, but when you're clicking here, I mean, there's not even very much to see. There's a balcony, okay? That's looking over at the museums. And, I mean, great kitchen. Everything looks obviously functional. Good to go. I'm just looking at the flooring though. Like, is that just the style, or were they're fixing to replace it and put something else in? It looks like I'm trying to tell if there's even trim right there. I don't think there's trim because if you look, It looks like it's missing there, and then it's there in the bathroom. Yeah, like they're still having to finish this up or something. Now with a condo, you know, you'll come with a lot more amenities, right? You probably have your gym, your, you know, communal spaces underneath, and if that's for you, awesome. There's a spa here, I believe, or is that faucet water? Pool table, right? There's a whole place to just mingle and talk. There's your gym that's already part of your living space. There's spaces that they have for kayaks and paddle boards and stuff like that right here. So lots of pros. If that's just what you're doing, if that's what you want, it's great. But again, you got to keep in mind, right? Condos and townhomes don't necessarily, they don't appreciate as fast as single family homes, and there's not as much flexibility. And then HOA fees, like I said in the beginning. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go back to single family homes. I do just want to show, like I said, this is a specific boundary to Tacoma itself, but I want to eliminate that boundary just to kind of show you where your money can go. Just if you look a little bit, you know, spread out, I guess, right? What 600K can get you just in the neighboring cities. So this right here, 520, it's down more towards Lakewood, technically a University Place address. So this has smaller square footage, 3-bed, 1-bath, okay? It is very low HOA because $240 annually, think of that per month. Now, mind you, some people have to look past this. It's harder for some than others, right? This is very cluttered. A lot of people sometimes, you know, to get it ready for the market, this probably should have been one of the steps to declutter. But again, some people just aren't able to, don't have the time, the resources to get stuff out. But if you just look past that, that's the important part of when you're trying to search for a home, okay? So all this stuff that's there, that's their style, it's gonna be out. What I see are nice neutral walls. There's carpet, so that's something to keep in mind, right? And then going down here, lots of space. Just a lot more space than what we were looking at in those other previous, you know, especially the condos, right? Going down to, let's look down here in South Hill though. So I've gotten a lot of questions recently too though about Puyallup and South Hill. Definitely something to keep in mind because look right here, 512 up to 167. This highway here goes parallel with 5 freeway and it goes directly to SeaTech and like up to Seattle. Same commutes that people will make from Tacoma up to. So it's always a great alternative, especially for families. Look at this here, 575K. So it's going to be cheaper than, or same price that we saw that Tacoma home that's right on that busy 6th Ave, okay? But you're talking more square footage, an additional bedroom. Now, an older home, 1977, well, no, sorry, that home that we saw previously is 1929. Look at this yard and this deck and balcony and everything, okay? So if you just go about 20 minutes east to basically a suburb area of Puyallup and South Hill, yeah, this might be a little older, but I mean, everything looks to be cleaned up. Looks like there's some fresh paint possibly. If not, they just did a good job with the photos. But things look very serviceable and clean. Look at that, that's a nice bathroom. It looks like there's another downstairs, like there's something in the basement too. Yep, looks like a different living space in the basement. And then going to here, just look at all this different space you can get. That honestly probably can be split up in two different living arrangements. Same price, quieter area than where you'd be at in Tacoma, and a lot more space, right? That's like, that is a legit, that is your own backyard there. That's just a perfect example of what you, just with some flexibility, if you don't want to be right in the smack dab middle Tacoma, you just go down, like I said, From right here, that Tacoma area down to here, you know, pending any traffic, you can be there in 20-25 minutes, right? Just on this little commute here. That makes a huge difference. And one other thing too, right? So look at this right here, 575K. So we're looking and we're like, oh damn, that's a nice home right here. Tacoma? How could that be in Tacoma? I'm showing my screen. That is technically a Tacoma address, but it's way down here, Spanaway, Frederickson, okay? That's another thing that's just weird about up here in Washington is sometimes these city addresses just do not line up with the actual border, because we had the boundary before and it was right around here, right? That is technically a Tacoma address, but it's really not Tacoma. I mean, it's all generally Tacoma, but like that is not up with the rest of what we were seeing up here, correct? That is way down here, more Spanaway than anything. And that's why you're looking like, oh, that's a big house, looks nice outside. How can I get that in downtown Tacoma? You really can't. So I hope this helped a little bit. Hope to help to just walk through what you are seeing on Zillow, on Redfin, on Realtor.com, just what you're doing scrolling through. You know, pictures are part of the advertising. It is just the way to get the eyeballs on the home, right? So a lot of times too, what you see in person and with a walkthrough is a lot different than what you can see in the pictures, okay? And on top of that, maybe that just makes more sense on sometimes when you're looking on things and you're like, hey, that's a Tacoma address, why is it so far south? That's just how some of these cities are around here. Even in Olympia, you know, it'll have an Olympia address and it's 20 minutes away from downtown Olympia. They frequently happen like that, and that's why it's always great to talk to someone that's on the ground that knows the area super well, like myself. So thanks for watching this video. Hope it helped out. If you have any other questions, feel free to call, text, email me, reach me as in any way you can. If you think someone else too would benefit from this video, feel free to send it their way, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.